Jimmy Butler has officially torn his ACL. We're going to usher this in by way of a super chat from Tupac Westside. Tupac said, I just heard the news about Jimmy B. Absolutely awful. Unless Golden State can make some miracle trade at the deadline, I'd call it a season. Prayers for Jimmy. Thoughts on this, fellas?
Before, so now that Buckets is now out of the lineup, are we right where we were last year at this time with the Golden State Warriors? Do we have the same issue that we had last year where that secondary bucket getter, we don't have it, and we're relying heavily on Steph Curry, and we're relying heavily on our defense, which, by the way, isn't what it used to be. And now we're in a space where we don't have a paint presence like we did last year in Looney, a guy who could rebound. We don't have that now. So now we're in a space where we don't have a bucket getter like we did last year. We don't have a paint presence. So where do we go from here?
You go
They
north.
they have to get MPJ. They got to figure out a way to get MPJ. I know the Nets said they don't want Jonathan Kuminga, but they're going to have to force them to take Jonathan Kuminga. I don't know. Like, obviously, I know you can't force people, but some way, somehow, you got to make them an offer they can't refuse. You got to get Michael Porter Jr. over to Golden State. In order to salvage, if you got to, in order to salvage the season to some type of respectability, you got to go get MPJ. And I don't know how you do that. I don't know what it looks like, but it's the only.
But Jimmy Butler and Michael Porter Jr. are such different players.
Way different.
So different.
Well, yeah, it's going to have to be a different form. You're not going to find the Jimmy Butler.
But implementing a player who plays so distinctly different from the player that you are attempting to replace is harder for everybody. You'd be much better off trying to replace him with a player who's similar to him.
Like who?
Who's similar to Jimmy Butler, in your opinion?
Like who?
RJ Barrett.
Oh, okay, I see what's going on.
I see what's going on here too, Mark.
Yeah, okay. Never mind.
Activate the bullshit.
Yeah, we don't. I don't think Jimmy Butler's replaceable, but I guess I'm on the short list of people who think Jimmy Butler's still elite. Like, so I don't know. For the Warriors, losing him is a death sentence for your season. Like, that season is done. Yeah. But like, if I'm being honest, like, I don't really care about what this means for Golden State more so than like Jimmy Butler's 36 and just tore his ACL. Like,
it's over.
Yeah, like, quite frankly, like, shout out to the Warriors. Yeah, your season's over. Jimmy Butler, like, his career is like in jeopardy. Not in the sense of like he still got guaranteed money next year. I'm not saying that, but like going through a rehab of a torn ACL at this age, going from playing at what, in my opinion, was a top 25 level. I had Jimmy Butler as an all-star for me. Like, I think he was playing at an all-star level this year. And then having to go through this in a knee that's been giving you problems in previous years. You dealt with like torn MCLs, major knee injuries in the past on that same knee. And then having to come back, rehab at this age. He turns 37 this year, I think. Like, I think I've seen something. He's the second oldest player to tear his ACL since Birdman, I think, tore his ACL in like 2018. Like, it's tough. Like, that's kind of where my thoughts are. So
he's owed $57 million next year.
Mm-hmm. So at least you get to rehab while making $57 million. Like, that's the
like, that's an expiring contract. You cannot waste the final good years of Steph waiting on Jimmy to come back. So Jimmy's now trade fodder. That's how I would look at it. Like, he has to be traded. I understand, like, it's weird to trade guys who are injured, but like, you got to do it.
Isn't it in the collective bargaining agreement that you can't trade guys that are injured? I don't know if that's a thing. I don't know if you can do that.
I think you can trade them. I think the other team would have to waive their right to a medical exam or physical, but you can definitely do it. Guys have been traded. Trae Young was just traded. Brandon Ingram was traded last year. Brandon Ingram was injured. Trae Young was injured.
Was he still injured though?
Yes. I mean,
yeah, you can trade someone injured as long as the injury is disclosed. Like, you can, like, if Jimmy has a torn ACL and the team trading for Jimmy knows he has a torn ACL, they can do that, and he's still going to do a medical to see if there's any other issues. Mm-hmm. But it's like when you don't disclose certain things, like why the Lakers deal was rescinded. Apparently, there was things on Mark Williams' medical that wasn't disclosed to the Lakers or whatever the case may be. But you can trade injured players if you want to.
Like, so the Miami Heat are geniuses, right?
Saying. I hear what you're saying, Morris, and I get it, but Jimmy will be back in December.
You said the same shit about Kyrie, and we're in January.
Yeah, but Jimmy and Kyrie ain't the same person. Kyrie taking a little.
Yeah, Jimmy
more-
Yeah,
older.
Kyrie's younger.
Kyrie's supposed to be back
And
though.
better.
I
next couple
understand
weeks.
that age.
Yeah,
thank
mid-February
you,
is
but
what
I'm
I was
saying
saying.
like he could. Jimmy be back in December, y'all.
But Ox though, look, it is Jimmy. I mean, let's say Jimmy is who he is, and he's a warrior, no pun intended, all throughout this rehab treatment. And let's say he does get back in December. What does that really mean though? Because Mars already highlighted he's 36. This is an ACL injury. What if he comes back just much lesser of a player?
Which he will, by the way.
By the way, you could take the
maybe he
injury
will,
off
maybe
the
he won't.
table.
How
He'd
impactful is
still
that?
be a lesser version of himself by virtue of the fact that he's 37 instead of 36.
Yeah.
Name
so
a player who's been better at 37 than 36. Go ahead.
So
Go
what,
to
what does that
NBA.
mean for him then?
Get one player. What, you gonna say Kevin Durant?
Steph was pretty good at 37. Steph
Yeah,
looking
James-
better this year than he did last
Okay,
year.
name a player who's not a great shooter who is better at 37 than 36.
Oh,
There you go. That's
Awesome.
impossible because that ain't
But,
ever happened.
I mean, I bet on IQ. Jimmy's one of the smartest players in the NBA. So like
Sure.
I think Jimmy, no matter what, is gonna understand. He knows how to play basketball. So I'm not saying like he's never gonna be good. But like people were questioning when I said the word elite. I don't know what's not elite about Jimmy Butler. Like the guy doesn't score 25 points per game, but he undoubtedly makes your team better no matter what. And maybe as he doesn't do it in the ways you like, but the fact that he's able to command many possessions as a ball handler and not turn the ball over, the fact that he was floor raising the Golden State bench units in the non-staff minutes is huge. The fact that they were actually able to win in those minutes, the fact that he's one of the smartest off-ball defenders in the NBA, the fact that he's great in passing lanes, the fact that he's a great offensive rebounder. Like there's a reason why Jimmy Butler teams are always good. And it's not just because of Jimmy Butler. Obviously, that you build good teams. But the Warriors played at a 56 win pace with Jimmy Butler on the team. When he played, they played at a 56 win pace. That's one of the best teams in the NBA. And we've seen this Warriors team. Outside of Steph, Jimmy, and Draymond, people have had questions about this roster. They play at a 56 win pace when Jimmy plays. He helps winning. He does the things that help winning. We talk about all the time, forcing turnovers is huge because you get out in transition. Guess what Jimmy Butler does? He forces turnovers. Getting second chance opportunities is huge because it stops other teams from being able to get out in transition and you're getting extra shots. Guess what Jimmy Butler does? For a wing, one of the best offensive rebounders in the NBA. Like Jimmy Butler does the things that impact winning, but because he's not averaging 25 and he averages 19, it's like, I guess. Jimmy Butler gets the free throw line too much. Since when is getting to the free throw line shooting 88% a bad thing? I don't know. Normally, if you get 7 opportunities at the free throw line a game and you're shooting 85%, that helps your offense, especially a Golden State team that was struggling to get to the free throw line because they had no one who could put pressure on the rim and draw fouls the way Jimmy Butler can. Like, I don't know.
And he was doing that.
Maybe I'm
still
going to
gonna
be a good basketball player. Like he'll come back and still be a good basketball player.
And I think that's what the divide is, Miles, because he still is a good basketball player, but I don't think that's the issue. The issue was him getting more points. I don't think that anybody was questioning whether or not Jimmy Butler could get in the paint. Jimmy Butler was smart enough to make reads to get guys open shots. I don't think that was the issue. I think the issue was getting Jimmy Butler with that group. He was going to be the one to supplement what Steph Curry wasn't doing as a bucket getter. And the 26, 27 that Steph Curry was bringing them, they needed more than 18, 19 a game from Jimmy Butler. That was the idea.
Why
Mars, what pace did you say the Warriors were with Jimmy Butler?
56 wins.
I can tell you a player that his team is 57. They're on pace for 57 games.
Congratulations. Yes. For reference,
57 wins pace.
And this is where like you don't need to supplement things in like it doesn't matter if Jimmy's scoring 26 if the lineups are winning when Jimmy Butler's on the floor.
I don't think 26 is the number that I was looking for.
Yeah, no. But like arbitrary, like it doesn't
sure.
Jimmy Butler doesn't need to supplement the impact with scoring as long as the impact is there. Like it doesn't need to come in that way as long as the lineups are winning. Why does it have to come through Jimmy scoring if it comes through Jimmy generating second chances, creating shots for his teammates, getting to the paint, generating fouls? Jimmy Butler, since he's joined the Warriors, has played 990 minutes without Steph in the regular season. They have a +10 net rating in those minutes.
Yep.
They're winning the minutes. Like, why does it matter if he's not scoring 50 million points? Like, they're winning, they're dominating when Jimmy plays without Steph. That's all that matters. And you want to win the non-Steph minutes. You don't need to do it because Jimmy's scoring 30. You need to win the minutes at all costs. And that's what they did.
So if that's the case, then Miles, why are they at the bottom of the playoff race then? What's the problem?
Because the team sucks. The team sucks. And Jimmy's also not the most available.
They've been
So, like,
really
you
good
don't-
over the last few weeks.
But when
though.
Jimmy plays, they're good. Jimmy this season, they're 23-15 when Jimmy plays this year. They were 23-7 when Jimmy played last year. In the they've
They had a
been
winning
picking
record
it
with
up.
him in the lineup. I'm not gonna argue that.
They've
point.
been
Yes,
picking
they
it
did.
up recently. I think they're 6-1 in their last 7 games or something. They've been finding a rhythm. Jimmy Butler's been playing really well. Like, the team is fine when their big three plays. The team is fine. Like, there's a lot of the team is fine. The rest of the roster sucks.
Yes,
But
and that's the problem.
and actually, not, I can't say the rest of the roster. DeAnthony Melton been having a really good season coming back from his 20 ACL.
Yeah.
Want to give him flowers. DeAnthony Melton's been good for them. Moses Moody in recent games has been making 3. So guys have been stepping up. But Jimmy Butler is like, when he was there, the team was great. I don't know.
So with Jimmy
I'm
Butler, and I can appreciate your logic on, and I know we got to move on, Ron, but Miles, I can appreciate your logic on Jimmy Butler being impactful on winning. Okay, so number one, he's not out there nearly as much. So because he's not out there nearly as much, that means that those other guys, because the roster is, in question, those guys got to do more, which now makes them even more deficient. All right. So because Jimmy's not out there, add that to the fact that these guys are older. So with them being so I got an older roster, and my guys who impact winning the most aren't available. I mean, that's a recipe for disaster.
He only missed 6 games. He only missed 6 games this year, to put it out there. So it's not like he wasn't the most unavailable. He only missed 6 games this year. They were 23-15 with him, which I think is a fine record. I'm assuming 23-15 would have you in and around the 5, 6, 7, 8 race. Right now, they're a game out of Phoenix. Like, they're really close to the 5 seed now. Right now. Yeah, right now they're a few games back of Houston, who are 5th. Like, they're a few games back of Minnesota, who are 4th. Like, they're not that far out the race. It's just playing just sounds end of the world. But like, realistically, like, in a pre-playing world, they're comfortably the 8th seed right now. They're 3 games up on Portland. So it's like the play-in makes it seem like there's more jeopardy, but in reality, they're in the group of 4 through 8 in the West, which is probably where most people had them. San Antonio is the surprise
that's just
team.
Done, Morris. That's just done.
Yeah, I agree. Now I think that season is cooked. But like, people preseason would have had OKC and Denver as the top 2 in the West, and that 3rd spot probably would have been Houston, which means 4 through 8 was going to be some assortment of Minnesota, the Lakers, the Clippers, and the Warriors. Right now, the Clippers are a bit further down, and the Spurs have catapulted up. But the Warriors are about where people expected them to be, 4 through 8. With Jimmy Butler in the lineup, they were a good team. And once again, even going back to last year, if you want to say it's a Jimmy and Draymond thing, 500 minutes with Jimmy on the floor without Steph or Draymond, a +11 net rating. Jimmy Butler was able to floor raise Warriors lineups because of the way he impacted the game. But because it wasn't, if Jimmy Butler did the same things he did, but instead of it being like 19-5-5, it was 24-5-5, doing the exact same thing, the exact same metrics, everyone be like, oh my God, Jimmy Butler superstar. But because he doesn't score 19 points, it's a problem. Jimmy Butler is one of the most impactful players in the league. That's the moral of the story.
What does this mean? What does this mean for Jonathan Kuminga?
So Kuminga, weirdly enough,
that's what it means.
Like,
he's gonna be playing.
Like, he's, this wole thing that's been made of
This
like
is bullshit,
Kuminga and Butler can't play together.
Now you need me.
You know what's funny?
That's how
Kuminga
rosters work.
The same player that I was when I was on the bench.
Chill. That's how depth charts work. Next man up. I'm not gonna.
I wasn't playing at all though, Ox. It's not like I was playing a little bit of minutes.
Back then they didn't want me.
Yeah, I know y'all not being serious right now.
I'm being dead
back
serious.
Then they didn't want
I wasn't
me.
playing at all.
That's how it works. That's how it works. These dudes play. These dudes don't play. But you the better of these dudes that don't play. So when this dude that play go out, it's your turn. Now come play basketball.
Hey, Ox, I think we missing one of the biggest parts of this.
I mean, Jonathan Kuminga don't got time to be no crybaby. What'd you say?
Well, for all accounts,
I said, how the fuck did the NBA let Jimmy Butler get away with that headband last night? That's the real thing.
You don't like that D-Lo headband? You don't like that? Or
well, you can't wear that in the NBA. When they start letting you do that?
A-Lo? What is it, A-Lo or D-Lo? Something like that?
Ain't no way in hell you supposed to let him wear those shit like that.
What's wrong with that headband? What's wrong with it?
It's your headband's supposed to say NBA. You motherfuckers wearing Louis Vuitton headbands next
you just get fined, right? He just got to pay his fine.
Your ass get fined, and think if you keep playing, boy, they fucking suspend your ass. Boy, that's a brand risk. You can't even have those type of tattoos on you.
Man, just pay that fee. Just pay that fee.
I did not know that.
You can't even have. They used to make people cover up Louis Vuitton. J.R. Smith had to cover up a lot of his tattoos because of that. You can't. They tried to make LaMelo cover up his shit, and his shit is his middle name.
It's the panel. Religion get built on cam. Where the check throw smoke and the hoes go ham. You ain't never seen hoops all hit the raw. Every take got weight, every night we drop. This that barbershop. Courtside, worldwide tone. Welcome to the only show that really feel like numbers jumping like the score.